again, guys. This is example video number 2 for the video that you're gonna have to be handing in about a month and 1 week probably. Like I told you on the first video, this video is gonna be much longer than the first one. And for this video, you actually have to have read the book, because if you haven't read it, you're not gonna be able to make this video, okay? So I hope you had your vacations and you read a little bit, because if not, it's gonna be hard. So for this video, the things that you have to include are the following. You need, 1, a small summary of the book, meaning just a small introduction on what the book is about. You're gonna have to introduce the main characters and the secondary characters. Then you have to describe the main characters only. You don't have to describe the secondary characters. You have to say who they are, but you have to describe them. You're going to have to say who your favorite character, or what, sometimes it's something, what your favorite character is, secondary character, and why you love this secondary character. Then you have to say the settings, okay? The most important settings in the story, so that's 5 things now. And then you're going to have to say what your favorite setting is. Describe it a little bit. Don't say me like, yes, it's that beach and whatever. No. Tell me more about it and how it looks and how the sun looks and the mountains and if it has really cool things, okay? That's 6 things. And finally, you are going to talk about something interesting that surprised you about the book. Maybe you thought the book was about apples and the book is about tomatoes. I don't know. Something that surprised you about the book. So we're going to start with my example video number 2. And I don't know if you remember my book, The Never-Ending Story by Mr. Michael Ende. Okay? What's my book about? It's about many things. It's a beautiful book. But basically, it's about a small, fat little boy who is bullied at school. He has no friends, and he loves to read. And then one day, when it's rainy and he's running to school, he finds a bookstore. He goes in the bookstore and it's full of books and looks beautiful. And then he sees one book and he falls in love with the book and he steals the book. He takes it. He doesn't pay. He just runs out of the store. And then he goes into school. He hides in the attic of his school, which is like a basement, but in the ceiling of the school. And then he starts reading there. And he stays there. And then he starts reading and he finds the story is really interesting and a lot of things start to happen. And then he finds out that he is part of the book. And this is when the story gets really interesting. And I will tell you more about that part on video number 3. Okay? I'm going to introduce my main characters first. I have 2 main characters, which are Bastian, fat little boy, and Atreyu, which is kind of the hero of the story. Bastian is, like I told you, he's fat, he's bullied, his mother died, and his father works a lot, so his father is never with him, so he has no friends, and this is Bastian, okay? Then we have Atreyu. Atreyu is one of the coolest characters in the whole book, and he is from Fantastica, which is one of my settings, I will tell you later, and he is a gray skin. This is like his tribe. The color of their skin is dark green, like olive oil. And Atreyu is a boy like you guys. Well, a kid like you guys. And he is a hunter. He hunts with bows. He hunts buffaloes, which are purple, which is really cool. And he is also very courageous. And although he is a kid, he goes on adventures and he's a hero, okay? And another cool thing about Atreyu is that he has a horse, a talking horse. I think that if you tell your parents there's a talking horse, they will think it's Mr. Ed, but it's not. So he has a horse, and his horse is named Antrax. It's a white horse, it's a beautiful horse, and it's very smart. So when Atreyu is in trouble, Antrax helps him. And then something bad happens to Antrax, but we're not going to go there, because if not, I start crying. Then, I'm going to make a stop here. I'm going to show you something that I have that is making my video easier. Take a look at this. There, you can see my notes. I have my main characters, my secondary characters, and my settings, okay? So I'm talking to you, but I'm actually reading my notes. And my computer just blocked. Okay, so let me continue. Now I'm going to go, that was Atreyu and Bastion, which are my main characters. Now I have 7 secondary characters. They're not the only secondary characters, but as you can see, it's a very, very big book. Lots of pages. So I have more than 20 secondary characters. I chose my favorite secondary characters, which are Uyulala, Mork, Said, Falcor, Morla, Moonchild, and Mr. Coriander. Quickly, I have Mr. Coriander, who is the owner of the bookshop, the Moonchild, or the childlike empress, which is like the queen of Fantastica, Falcor, which is a cute dragon that looks like a dog actually, but is lucky, Morla, which is a turtle, very, very old, Said, she's evil, she's an evil sorceress, she's like the bad wizard, okay, from Harry Potter. And then Uyulala, which is an oracle. This is something that has all of the answers. And finally, Mork, which is, it's like between a dog and a wolf, but very skinny and very ugly, okay? And it's an evil one. It's a bad character. So those, we have there the summary. We have my main characters and my secondary characters. Now I'm going to tell you about my favorite secondary character. And my favorite secondary character is it's Falcor. I think it's Falcor. So, like I told you, Falcor is a luck. Luck is like, hey, I have good luck. I won the lottery. He is a luck dragon. He's very long, and he looks like a dog, but on the back he has scales like a fish, and they glow. He's silver, and the way they describe it, I saw the movie, but the way they describe him in the book, he is actually really, really beautiful. And when you are with Falcor, everything that you do turns out perfect because he gives you good luck. So that's really cool. This is why I like him so much, because he saves Atreyu because he almost died many times. He helps Atreyu to go to all the places. And in the end, he becomes like Atreyu's best friend because something bad happens to Artrax. So Falcor is my favorite secondary character. Long video. We're going now to the settings, okay? As I told you, maybe your book has many, many settings. You're only going to choose the most important settings. I have 3. I have Fantastica, I have the school's attic, and I have Mr. Coriander's bookshop. The first one is Mr. Coriander's bookshop because it is at the beginning of the story. The second one is the school attic because this is where Bastion goes and hides himself so he can read his book. And the third one is Fantastica. Fantastica is the biggest one, so you would think that that's my favorite one, but it's not. Unfortunately, or fortunately, your teacher is a bookworm, so that means I love books. So my favorite setting is the bookshop. I'm going to describe it to you. So you open a small door, it's made of glass, and then it has like bells on top, so it goes ring, ring, when you come inside the bookshop, and then there's this long, long rows of books all the way up. Books here, book at the back, and it smells like books. It's full of books. And then at the very end, very, very, very end, there's a small light. So when Bastion walks to the light, there's an old man, Mr. Coriander, and he's reading the book that Bastion steals. This is why it's my favorite setting, because I love books and I would love to go into a place that has all the walls and all the ceilings and all the floor and there's books everywhere. So that's my favorite setting. And I'm about to finish my video, which is very long. So I'm going to tell you something interesting that shocked me about the book. When I was probably around your age, I watched the movie. I watched The Never-Ending Story. I didn't know it was a book. I just saw the movie. It was really cool. There's 3 movies. I watched movie 1 and I absolutely loved it. And then I watched movie 2 and I said, I don't like it so much. And then I watched movie 3 and I said, oh my god, I hate it. So when I was reading the book, I was surprised to find out that movie 1 and movie 2 are actually the book. And in the book, the second part is unbelievable. It is, again, my computer blocked. It is amazing, and it has all these characters and all these things, and then you understand all the things that happened to Bastian. So you can imagine that I was like really surprised to find that even though I hated the second movie, I loved the book because it showed me that both movies were actually one book, and as I told you, amazing book. So you should read this if you ever have the chance. So there you go, guys. This was really, really long. I think, oh my god, it's been like 11 minutes. Okay, yours should be around 10 minutes. I think that's a good time for your video because you're not going to have to introduce it like I did. That was a long video. I hope that it's not too difficult. Remember that you can make the, second, the cards that will help you when you forget something. You just look at the board or look at the wall, and then you remember what you have to do. These are great, and it will help you finish your video. I hope that it's easy. I hope that you like it, and I hope that you keep reading. And now we get to video number, how do you make 3? 3? Yay! Bye guys, see you in class. Good luck.